Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Glad to have you here on Comics News Today for the 14th of October, which was a holiday here. Of course, I'm a day ahead, but happy to have you guys in here. We got some really interesting stuff to get into, and we're going to have a lot of fun today. So thank you for joining us. Now, do keep in mind, we have all those links down below as usual. Please check them out, and also hit those share buttons. Let everybody know so they come out over here and join us. All right. Now I know that I had myself a very interesting day last night, Booster. I went and I had a gig yesterday in a new place, dude, way up in Beppu. It was kind of far. It's a little bit far, about an hour further than we usually go, and it was this place that's been there for forever. And I was really shocked, dude, because I went up and the building was so damn old. I swear if I tackled it, it would fall over. So it was a bit terrifying walking inside the thing. But it was really interesting. The reason I mentioned it to you, Booster, is because it's the first time in Japan I've seen a place that looks just like a British live house. I've never seen that
Ah,
before. Yeah, and
that is that's
yeah,
very
because I
specific.
well, it is very specific because the British, at least the old style ones, because I mean, I went and I played in Britain a few times for some bands I was with, and the British have a very unique style of live house setup. It's different. They have this very high stage. They tend to be very narrow. They have like when you're on the stage, you have like the floor below you, and then you have the second floor, like a balcony floor, and your view as the performer is cut between them. So it's a very interesting stage. It's very different than I'm used to, and I just thought it was interesting finding that in some old red light district in Japan. I was really shocked by it, and it was funny too because on the road we were on, there were just all these signs all the way up and down this little teeny alley, right? It's a little teeny thing, seedy little place. It's all soaplands, right? Which are all places. They're brothels, sex places, right? So you
Oh,
have these brothels going
you
up
have
and
my
down the road,
attention.
and you got this one live house sitting right in the middle of it. It was a weird experience, dude, but it absolutely was awesome, though. I had a great time, but I just thought it was cool because I a little bit of nostalgia going back to the British stuff. Now, of course, you were born in Britain, but have you ever been to a
Yeah.
British live house?
Not that I know of.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. Do I know what do the live houses look like down in Australia? Excuse me, New Zealand. What do you call them?
Well, how? Well, just like a theater? What are you
No,
on about a
a
live
live
house?
house where you go and listen to music, dude, and have some beers.
Oh, right. Let's just Oh, I wouldn't know what we call them. Just I don't know the cabana. I don't know. I haven't been.
You don't go out and just see some music and hang out and have a couple of beers. You don't do like that?
Oh no, I'm very lonely.
Oh wow. The American setup is very different. I know that, but anyway, it's not that big a deal. I just wanted to mention it
Mhm.
because it was it was an
I'm so
interesting experience
lonely.
for me. Yeah, we had a great time though, dude. It was we had three good bands. The crowd was freaking awesome, dude. It was a really
Mhm.
good show last night. I had fun. But anyway,
That's good.
let me come over and say
Well,
hello
I
to the
stayed
rest.
up all night and played Divinity and cried myself to sleep, so sounds like I had the better night.
It sounds like you had the better night. That's a good game though, dude. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And I'll come over here and say hello to the rest of the folks. We got Slick Jimmy in here. What's up, Slick?
Oh, just popping in. You know how it is.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice to see you, dude. Nice to see you. We also have Todd Maroney from IndieCom TV. How you doing, dude?
Doing really good. Really, really good.
Mhm.
Oh, awesome. Now Zach is over here, and of course he says, "Is D&D on for tomorrow, or are we skipping this week?" I'm not really sure what we should do. I saw a few suggestions, but seeing as we're not gonna have Slick, right? Or no, Bill. We're not gonna have Bill tomorrow. I don't know, Slick. What do you think we should do tomorrow?
Um, punt.
Punt, yeah. So skip it, right, and do something
I,
else.
I I don't mind either way. I mean, if you want to do something, if you want to do a side quest, or I don't know, or I don't know. But I understand when we don't have an extra the person that should be with us, it kind of puts a wrench in it. But I mean,
Yeah, no, I
I
don't.
don't I
I
don't
don't want
mind
to mess
either.
with the continuity in that way, personally. Yeah, I don't know. Well,
So
we'll talk about it later in the show and see if we can't come up with a decision. But of course, guys, we're also joined by George. How you doing, George?
Greetings, everybody. I'm
So
excited.
you are excited. So what is the level of the angst today between 1 and
Oh,
5?
it's chill.
It's a 2.5.
It's a very chill. I'm off the angry meter.
He's
I'm on the
off.
chill meter.
Oh no, what happened? Something
Huh?
horrible.
No, the final proofs for spelling mistakes and grammar mistakes for the book is done.
Hmm.
Now I'm just waiting for the printer to call me back so I can schedule the actual printing.
Oh, awesome, dude. That
Nice
is awesome.
cover.
Yeah, I'm like it's about freaking time. There's so much story packed into the 120 pages that I've done.
Hmm.
Some pages actually have 15 panels per page.
Wow, that's a lot. That is a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's not like a few pages here and there. It's like maybe half the book has about 15 panels per page.
Oh, that's cool. It's cool, but it's also terrifying. We've seen
It
it
is.
done, though. It can be done if it's done right. Speaking of misspellings, though, George, I was watching the Mr. Medicor, I think it was, and we're watching him kind of break down the stuff that's going on with Blizzard and their whole debacle with the China thing. And it's funny
Yeah.
because Blizzard came out with like an official statement from the president, boss, CEO guy, and it's quite obvious as they're reading through it that it was written by a Chinese person because they're making all those kind of standard mistakes that Chinese make with English, right? And for me, I would just like, oh my god. And of course, they did talk about that too, because there was an English major who brought up all the points as well. But it's like, I mean, come on, you're going to put up this really non-apology. Because they thought that giving the guy his money and suspending him for only 6 months was a capitulation on their part. Of course, it just backfired. But that was obviously not written by the boss. That was obviously written by a Chinese person, and which makes it even worse, right? I mean, freaking
Wow.
Blizzard, man. Oh well,
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty bad. Then of course,
So
guys,
their English wasn't so good.
no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just the standard type of. It actually was pretty good English for a Chinese person, to be honest with you. But it's the mistakes that Chinese make with English because of the grammatics function is different in China than it is with English speakers, of course. But anyway, I don't, I just thought I'd mention it. But Denali, how you doing, dude?
I'm doing fantastic. The weather's changing. It's kind of now dry instead of humid, so that's always a good sign.
Yeah, no, it's definitely getting cooler here too. But of course, here in Japan, we're dealing with the aftermath of that big typhoon that came through Tokyo. And whew, boy, I mean, this might be the most expensive thing, even more than the tsunami at Tohoku. There's literally just I think tens of billions of dollars in damage, dude. Like
Oh yeah.
half the Shinkansen, the Japanese bullet train system,
Hmm.
half of the trains were underwater. Half of them.
Oof.
Yeah,
Wow.
dude. I mean, the actual damages, I just can't. It's got to be mind-boggling when it finally comes out. And of course, we've lost nearly 100 people as well who died during it, so that's another problem. And
Did
that's
it hit straight into Tokyo?
Yeah, it did, dude. It slammed right into Tokyo. Yeah.
Sheesh. I mean, 100 people is bad, but I guess it could have been worse.
Oh, it could have been a lot worse. It's a first world city, a very well built city for such disasters. So, but that shows you how bad it was. The fact that 100 people
Yeah.
actually died. And the interesting thing, of course, with the Japanese and how they are. But because we have a lot of video of the past couple of days, it's just literally millions of people are out cleaning up in the city. Now, if you had a disaster like when we've had things hit New York and stuff, how many of the population came out and did anything? Right?
This is true.
Yeah. So I mean, but
It is a cultural thing. Yeah.
it is.
I would assume it's a culture that just it's part of their duty to go out and straighten shit up.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And like when we did have the Tohoku disaster, which was apocalyptic. I mean, that's 20,000 dead, right? But
Yeah.
the Japanese were out. Of course, they were cleaning things up over years, but they were standing in lines at convenience stores to get some water because the convenience stores here, like 7-Eleven and Lawson and stuff like that, open up their doors, giving out water, make sure everybody had some basic necessities. But everyone stood in line just very patiently. We had no looting, we had no raping or violence or nothing, nothing, right? And of course, everyone
So
gets all upset about Katrina and trying to blame
That
everybody and
sounds
their
like a
brother
boring
for it. But
hurricane.
well,
No raping and pillaging. What's the point?
yeah, it sounds like Utah.
But now Katrina, particularly in New Orleans, was really bad, and it was outrageous behavior, is what it was. But every time you have this kind of crap going on, and the funny thing is when Katrina hit, and everyone was focused on New Orleans because the levees broke, right? But no one talked
Yeah.
about those communities in Mississippi or Alabama where it really hit more directly, actually, and
Right.
all
Right.
them working together and helping each other and stuff, and their towns were literally shaved to the foundations, right?
Yeah. I
No
was
one
I
mentioned it.
was there a month before Katrina hit,
Yeah.
and so it was like really weird. I'd gone down the trace through the Delta down into New Orleans from Memphis. We were doing doing a documentary,
Hmm.
and it was really weird. But there's a lot of people. I do remember a lot of people who got on trains and buses and planes and went down there to help out. So I remember some of that. But there was looting and crazy stuff. But there was also some heroics. But
They
you
were.
know,
They
we
were. And it's just the news didn't cover it because if it doesn't bleed, it doesn't lead, right?
yeah,
It's the way
yeah.
it is. Midnight Cherry's in here. Hello, dude. I really like the sound of that guy's voice. He's got a good channel. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump over and start looking at our news today because we got a bunch to talk about. It's going to be fun, I think. So let me share this up here and here and here. And there we go. All right, let me jump over here. All right. Boom. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about here today is something that's been going on for a while, and I think you guys probably all know about it, but we did want to chat about it a bit because there is a GoFundMe going on. So, Dinale, why don't you lay this out for everybody, please?
All right, so those who've been watching Neurotic or who's been following the Star Trek Discovery lawsuit would know that the creator of Tartarus made a lawsuit against the creative team of Star Wars Discovery, saying that for Point to Point, the first season, they ripped off of his game project.
Yeah.
And he showed kind of the evidence.
It's
Did
called
you say Tartarus or
tardigrades.
Tardigrade?
Tardigrades, yeah,
Yeah.
it's tardigrades.
Tardigrade, excuse me.
English is
Yeah.
not his first language, guys. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Nope. So excuse me for that. And basically, after several months, the judge dismissed the whole lawsuit, saying that tardigrades couldn't be copyrighted or anything like that. So right now they're doing an appeal, and right now he needs. At the time that the GoFundMe was made, he needed $5,000 to put in the appeal, file for appeals.
Mhm.
So that's where we are at right now.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Basically, what's happening here is CBS is trying to bury a person in costs, which is what they do. Is what they do with law. It's not about justice. It's about outspending you, which they do all
It's
the
about
time. And he's looking for money here with this GoFundMe. He's actually made a bunch of money, so I think he's really close to his goal. He's less than 3,000 away from the goal. But we've covered this before. We everyone's talked about Midnight's Edge. Of course, has done really good coverage as well as Neurotic. It's a good point. But basically, Discovery stole directly from him. It's obvious to everybody. But he doesn't have the money to deal with it. And to be honest with you, I mean, if you feel like supporting this, you should go throw money at it. I think it's a good endeavor. But he's never going to outspend CBS. He's never going to do it.
no. There's just too deep of pockets there.
Yeah.
But I think anybody who wants to put money there to help eradicate STD would be great.
Yeah, sure.
Well,
Right.
it's a lot more important in terms of supporting him than a lot of people realize. Is that CBS represents a corporation that is just willy-nilly taking somebody's established work and they're using it for themselves.
Mhm.
And if they set this as a precedent, then every other corporation can come into this community, look at the project, and say, hey, you know what? I like that Sugar Lightspeed, or I like that Joe King, or I like that Cyberfrog.
Well,
We're
it's
gonna
not as
we're gonna
simple as
take it
that.
and go with it, and then we're gonna actually sue the creator of it because just for the heck of it, and then outspend you.
Yeah, yeah. And we, like I said, it's a obviously they obviously ripped him off. I mean, so many things, not just the tardigrades themselves that are in the game, but the storylines, the just everything. They just ripped it straight out of him. And on top of it, to make insult to injury, it sucked. Star Trek Discovery sucked really bad. I mean, it was horrible, and it didn't improve. And you know, I don't know what to say. How you could make such a bad Star Trek. Even the slower Star Treks that people don't necessarily jump on board 100% with are well done at least, but this wasn't. And of course, then add on top of that all the SJW stuff. I mean, the absolute layers of it. It's just this debacle is outrageous for me, and I don't understand how CBS could just do that. I mean, you're obviously stealing it. Why can't you be original? Now we know the original creator got kicked out, and they brought that what's that guy's name? We can't stand him. The guy, the soy boy guy.
I haven't been
Remember?
paying attention.
No,
It
it's
just
the
makes me
starts with a
irritated, so I
K
don't even
guy.
pay attention.
Yeah,
Um,
but anyway, it is what it is. You had something you wanted to say, Todd?
No, no.
Okay,
I
Alex
know that it was.
Kurtzman.
Alex Kurtzman,
Yeah,
that guy. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
They got rid
Okay.
of Brian Fuller and
yeah,
got
yep.
Kurtzman. Yeah.
And from
Mhm.
what I understand, Fuller's ideas were much better. But you know, if you guys want to support this, please do. He is close to his goal, and you know, he could put up the good fight. At least it keeps it in the news, I guess. And yeah, but he's not going to beat CBS. It's not going to happen. It's just like the dudes who created Axanar, right? That was obviously a flick, but they came in and totally shut him down and caused all kind of trouble for them, and they couldn't deal with it because they can't outspend him. That's unfortunate, but that's how our legal system works. It's about, do you have the money to defend yourself? If you don't, then you're going to be guilty of whatever it is, or fail. So you know it sucks, but we just wanted to mention it offhand because of this GoFundMe is going on. So justice for Anis, Star Trek lawsuit appeal, and of course this is talking about Anis Abdin, who's the creator of Tardigrades. But moving on to our next story. This one is from Todd, so go ahead, Todd.
This was just announced that the new creative team for Thor ongoing in 2020 will be Nick Klein and I forget the writer,
Donny Cates.
Donny Cates, yeah, from
Hmm?
Venom and the new what is it, Carnage, that he's doing with Ryan
Absolute
Stegman.
carnage. Yeah.
Yeah, Nick Klein just came off of doing a really good Daredevil run that was written by Scotty Young, which was really some of the best not Daredevil, Deadpool, really some
So,
of the best Deadpool stuff that I've read in a while.
Do you like Donny
Scotty
Cates'
Young.
booster?
I don't think I've actually read much from the guy, but what I've heard was that a lot of people are really liking what he does, particularly Venom. A lot of people really love his run on Venom at the moment.
Hmm.
It looks like he's going to be spread thin, though. That's one of my concerns. He's getting a lot of titles at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. Well, maybe he's being
But
successful, I guess.
who
But
knows? Maybe we might get a man as four again. I mean, a man.
maybe.
Wouldn't
I hope
that be
so.
a concept?
Yeah. But there are a
Yeah.
couple of things that come to my mind, and of course, if anybody else has comments, please have at it. But me personally, let's see. After many months of war, the 10 realms now we have 10, not 9. Okay, that's great. And the skies above the realm eternal are never clear for long. The black winter is coming. Really, really. We're going to do the Game of Thrones thing. We're going to unabashedly say that. That's interesting. But I mean, cool. I love a good Thor. I hope it's doesn't have any of the nonsense with Lady Thor. It looks like he's got his arm back. So cool. I do know I really don't like this art at all, personally.
Where's this?
Whoa,
Where's this
whoa! That
damn?
cover is drawn by Oliver Copiel, one of
I
the
don't. That's
greatest
fine.
artists in the industry.
Yeah.
Eh,
I just don't like the art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like the design. I mean,
Yeah. Maybe the
I'm
design.
hoping
You're
it's
right. It's
better.
not the art. It's the design. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't particularly have a problem with the art, but like the design, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't feel like Thor to me.
Yeah.
I mean, the hammer's all right, but where's his freaking crown? He's king.
Now that's an interesting point.
Is
I just don't like the
the circlet?
galaxy claw.
Is the circlet that's on his forehead? Is that the crown?
I think
I
so.
don't know.
I think it is. Yeah. Yeah. He's got Hugin and Mugen with him, which is kind of cool. But yeah, you're right, Slick. It's not the art. It's the design. Yeah. The art's fine. But yeah, I don't know. But we'll check it out though, because if it's really Thor again, I would be happy for that because I love Thor.
Yeah, if they keep it Thor. But I mean, what kind of malarkey's going to be jammed in there? We'll see.
Maybe none. Maybe none.
Maybe
we'll have to.
maybe
we'll have
it'll
to
be
check
a
it out.
straight up story and an adventure, and it'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
Well, we got to wait and see.
I'm not holding my breath. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know, Todd. Do you know more about this? You have any insight into it?
No, I don't. No more than this article. No.
I see. Well, cool. I don't know. I know I've heard the name Donny Cates, and I probably read something he's done. I'm just not great with the name thing. But yeah, cool. No, I'll check it out because I do love Thor, and I haven't read Thor in quite a while because they had that run for a while. It was really well done. It took him kind of back to a more archaic form of himself, and then they started the Lady Four thing, and I haven't read it since. So yeah, I'll definitely check this out. When's it launching? Do they say?
Doesn't it say down the bottom there?
I'm looking.
I believe it's sometime in 2020, isn't it?
Solicitation. It doesn't give a date.
No, it doesn't.
From what I recall, it's sometime in January.
Sometime in January. Cool. Well, we'll check it out. Because
but I could be very wrong.
Yeah, I really don't know what they're doing with this design. Though.
Oh, there you go. Ongoing in 2020.
I think it looks like a constellation.
Yeah, no, I get the space thing. They've added a realm, the realm eternal. Why?
Right, and isn't that isn't that or the knots that could be signifying the Viking or Nordic runes for Thor? I don't know.
This rune up here, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
his long hair is bothering me. If he was a real Viking, he'd have it in a braid.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because they usually don't carry hair that long. It does make him a little more effeminate, doesn't it? But I don't know. We'll have to see it though.
Whingy old nerds.
Hey, suck it.
Yeah, suck it, dude. But no, I mean, I'm definitely going to check it out though. I hope it'll be good, and we'll see. Awesome. Moving on here, we have Dinale. Now this one is from Todd too. Oh, this is from Todd. Yeah, go ahead, Todd. What's this one about?
Oh, they talked about some of the Phase 4 villains in this article. Taskmaster is in Black Widow.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
In this, they're gonna do what's his name? Shit. Oh, Namor. You're gonna see Namor finally come to the screen, which I always thought would be one of the coolest things. And to be honest, I always thought he was hinted at. Remember when Coulson was given somebody who was Blue's blood? I didn't know it was gonna be Kree. I really thought, they're gonna do the Atlanteans. You know what I mean? But so finally we get to see Namor get on the screen as a villain. So obviously, I'm not sure why he would attack a place that is pro Earth, pro conservation and stuff. I'm not sure why they use the technology to better mankind. So I'm not sure why he would attack them.
Well, Namor has attacked Wakanda before. And of course, he's a member of the Illuminati, which I don't know that we've actually built this in the movies yet. But so there is precedence for it. And of course, the other one, when Shang-Chi, they're supposed to be bringing the real Mandarin in. That could be cool as well. And Taskmaster with Black Widow. So there is some interesting things going on. But Namor, Namor. I think it's interesting, but I know they're not going to give us Namor that we know, though. They're going to do something very radical with him. I can't imagine him having the wings on his feet. I can't. Yeah, I just. I'm not sure what they'll do with Namor. It'd be interesting to see. I don't
You mean they
know.
won't put him in a Speedo?
No, they certainly won't. You know they won't.
No,
Oh,
they're
oh,
they're
man.
probably gonna, they're probably going to put him in the latest design, which is him and on gear, the black leather and all that stuff. If you want
let me
to
check.
look at
Let
that.
me
Oh,
check.
typical. They're covering up all our boys.
Well,
Let them
Kevin
swim in
Feige-
undies, I say.
What is this? What is this? It's
You
not. That's
put
who
Matt-
spelled that wrong.
Namor.
There we go.
Namor.
You
Yeah,
talk
Kevin
about
Feige has
this
a
where he
real
looks
heart.
even more like Shazam, or I'm assuming Black Adam.
He looks like bloody Black
Yeah, he
Adam.
looks
Yeah.
just like Black Adam.
Just
If you
like
showed
Black
me that
Adam.
image, I would have told you that's Black Adam.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
Black Adam.
But no, we'll see. We'll see what they do. It's we know
Okay.
the costume will be different. It'll be interesting.
But-
I think
Right.
How
Todd
do you like
makes a
that
good point, though.
Namor over there to the left? He just went
Yeah.
past. The one that looks
they're-
like
they're gonna have
he's
to
in an S&M.
This
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that one. He looks like he's in an S&M club.
They're going to have to up their game for underwater stuff. I mean, Aquaman was pretty freaking nice. They, with a whole underwater visuals. Marvel's going to have to do something really spectacular.
Yeah. No, you're right, model. Black Panther, he says Black Panther was crap with cringe CGI. Well, I don't know if it was crap, but it was a very mediocre movie. The CGI
I could
wasn't
take
good.
it
You
or
are
leave it.
right. Yeah.
I've only seen it the one time. I probably won't bother watching it again, but I don't
No.
regret watching it.
No. It was fun.
It's a movie, and the black community loves it. I don't want to take that away from them. I don't want
That's
to be
true.
like, no, you got it.
That's true. Absolutely. I 100%
I just
agree.
think
Well,
I just
you
think
know
it's a
what?
really.
Here-
I just
for-
think the concept of this most advanced society on Earth having a trial by combat to decide
Yeah,
who
It
runs
is
their
weird.
kingdom. I just think that's
yeah.
ridiculous.
It's a little silly. Yeah.
It is, yeah. But cool. Of course, the big problem that comes up to me, which is a weird movie problem that has nothing to do with comics, is the fact that they way overpowered Black Panther. They made him basically undefeatable. And I said at the time I saw it, that's going to come back on them. That's going to haunt them. Because that suit that they put him in is nowhere near Black Panther's power level, and they just made him the Ultra Uberman, is what they did. And they did it intentionally, right? Now
Well,
Namor
just
is
have
a
him
straight up badass, so I'm not sure how they're going to deal with this.
just have him fight Captain Marvel. The two unbeatable Mary Sues.
Yeah, well, they
Sure.
made him Mary Sue's because one's a woman, the other one's a black guy, right? That's what they did.
Yeah,
it
well, I
for.
mean, yeah.
Well, and
Welcome
it's
to Marvel. No,
well,
going
yeah,
on
but
to.
it's unfortunate, right? Because Black Panther is sitting in his street level, maybe a slightly above street level ability. He was fine right there. He was good right there. He fit that zone. But they've turned him into an absolute Mary Sue or whatever the male version is. They shouldn't
Very
have made him
stupid.
bulletproof. You're right, Joshua. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. But we'll see. Namor, man, because Namor is a straight up badass. There's not many people who can deal with Namor.
hmm
But do you think I'm sure they'll underpower him. And what do you think the chances of him being race swapped or gender swapped or both?
Oh,
You know what? They probably
Sure.
would, because there was an issue of him being female as well.
I think they'll just make him Asian.
There you go. Make him Asian. That sounds like a good idea.
I wouldn't even have a problem with him being Asian.
No, neither would I. But I just it'll be interesting to see what they do with this, because this will not go straight forward for sure. It'll be interesting
Right.
to check it out. This next story, though, I think is really interesting. It just makes me laugh. Go ahead, Dinale.
Yeah, this is from CBR.com. WWE canceled Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes' appearance at the last second because a couple nights before they have had an appearance promoting their upcoming Jay and Silent Bomb reboot at the AEW show.
Well, that's a little pity.
It is. Well, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, McMahon being petty, shocking. but A&W Dynamite from TNT. So yeah, it's kind of a non-story, but I guess it is interesting. The thing that really caught me offhand, I thought was interesting, is it looks like Kevin Smith has the AIDS.
Oh,
Is he
he
dying or
just
something?
shrunk.
Yeah,
No, he
lost
went
weight.
on that potato diet that Pin guy went on. Was it Pin? What's his name from Penn and Teller?
Penn Jillette.
Yeah. He went on some kind of potato diet.
He had a heart attack.
He had that heart attack, and then
Mhm.
I think the doctor said you best lose weight, and he
Oh.
has lost weight.
Well,
Oh,
there you go.
But he's one of those guys that looks better with weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is true.
So once they lose, it's just like, oh, what are you doing? Put the weight back on. I don't care if you're gonna have a heart attack. You look silly now.
Now, Kevin Smith has done a lot of stuff, and he's pretty well liked by a lot of people. I don't know that I've seen much from him that I did like. There was some. What's his famous thing he did? Some office thing.
You mean Clerks?
He did the Clerks.
Clerks.
Yeah.
Clerks was his first film he did like in a shoestring budget, and it is pretty funny.
It is pretty funny. I agree. Yeah.
And then the Askew-verse it has its moments, but you know once he did things like what was that one he did with Affleck and J-Lo where it just
Dogma.
and then he did a no, that was with
Matt Damon.
that was Jersey Girl. That's the one.
Oh God, that
and then there's the one he did with Cop Out, which he had that was Bruce Willis and the guy.
Yeah, Bruce. He didn't have a pleasant time with Bruce Willis.
And then he did Tusk, which.
He did Dogma though, right? He did do that movie.
Yes.
Yeah, he did Dogma. Yeah, he did Dogma.
Yeah, okay. So
he's
Clerks,
also written a few comics himself.
What?
He's also written quite a few comics.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yes.
That's true. And
he did a pretty good Daredevil, Guardian Devil, which was pretty sweet. But then he did a really terrible Batman stories.
Well, the thing with him though is he's definitely taken this kind of left-wing turn of late, though, and the fact that he's crying at the drop of a hat constantly now. I don't know if his hormones
he's fucking
are out
Shirley
of whack
Temple
or what.
for.
No, dang.
He's like Shirley Temple for everything, man. He just waterworks.
Yeah, it's pretty gay.
I don't know, but it's interesting to because he's a true comic fan though. That is definitely true.
Yeah,
and you know that the more power to him. But it is funny that Vince McMahon would cancel him just because he was on a competitor show. My goodness. Oh well, it is what it is. Now this right here.
I'm sorry about the reference to Shirley Temple. Nobody knows that reference. What I meant.
That's
Shirley
true.
Temple is known to be able to cry on cue. That was when she was a little girl, and that's what I mean.
Huh?
So for those of you who don't know, that's what I meant because I'm an old man.
Well, thank you for that bit of trivia.
Actually, you have to put in more context that she was one of the first famous child actors.
At one point, she was the highest paid actress in Hollywood back in the day.
Yeah. And also keep in mind when she got married, she became Shirley Black, and of course she was a senator, I do believe, for quite a while.
She was, I think she's an ambassador actually.
No, I think she was actually a senator.
I'm not going to argue about it, but okay.
Yeah. But Midnight Cherry TV says Clerks is an important film if you are an indie person. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that, and I thought it was funny. But I've heard a lot of people praise the Clerks for the doors it opened. Interesting. I love Chasing Amy and Mallrats. Saw Dogma in the theaters. Hasn't been good since. That's interesting. Now, Chasing Amy, I've heard about, never seen. Mallrats, I've never seen. Dogma, I did see, and I thought it was all right. Yeah, it's interesting.
I like Mallrats because it's a comic book movie.
Oh, is it?
Kevin
Yeah.
Smith actually sold his comic book collection to fund Clerks.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, and interesting thing is Mallrats just became part of the Marvel universe in one of the Marvel movies. They show Stan Lee reading the script for Mallrats.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
No,
that was in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
didn't watch that movie, nor
yeah.
will I. But
Yeah, don't worry
But
about it.
yeah, but to jump back
skip.
to Shirley Temple,
Uh-huh.
she was a United States ambassador to
Ambassador.
yep, and she was the chief of protocol of the United States
Oh, all right. There you
as
go.
well. Yeah.
But no, Kevin Smith is a true comic book guy, and of course we support him on that. But he has gotten cringy lately. I mean, he really has. But so many of them have. They just lost their damn mind. I mean, we have frickin' Ewan McGregor coming up trying to cover for his years of infidelity and all the crap he's getting by basically crapping on men. I mean, come on, dude. Really?
It's a
Really,
feminist movie.
Obi-Wan?
It's over,
They
Chester.
paid-
I have the moral high ground.
He does, I guess. He does.
Don't do it.
Don't
You
do
only
it.
take it.
Dinale, go ahead, man.
All right. So this is from Bleeding Cool, and this is from Rich Johnson, and he's talking about the paradigm shift of 30% fewer retailers in 2 years. And what this article is talking about is basically more retailers are going to go away. That's the nature of the beast, so to speak. But to survive this new age of digital content, consumerism, and delivery, one of the idea is zero inventory comic book stores, which means like you kind of print on demand. You don't carry the issues on stock because that's what hurts a lot of retailer. It's having merchandising on hand, kind of like how the automobile industries and some of the manufacturing industry does, is that they only carry enough inventory for what they need. Same here in this concept is you carry enough inventory for what is being asked for the demand. That way you're not holding onto products that you can't move along. And that would significantly cut down the costs of.
Sure. But
Of,
what
of
Rich Johnson is not taking into account, obviously,
yeah.
is the fact that Diamond distribution and the things that Marvel and DC have going on will not let them do that. That is the reason they're going out of business. Yeah.
The crazy thing is, I pitched print on demand stores over 10 years ago. I was laughed. No one listened to me back
Oh,
then
everyone
at
laughs
all.
at you, George. It's okay. Don't you worry about it. We got you back. But
That's why I'm here. I'm here for the laughs.
That's right. But I mean, come on. We all know this. We've been we everybody and their brother has been covering this. We know why the comic book stores are going out of business. They're going out of business because they're getting overwhelmed with all these multiple cover choices and them making them carry more. All of these over stock ships and all those kind of stuff. It is the industry itself that is killing these stores. So for him to make the suggestion, they would have done this a decade ago if they could have. Rich Johnson, what are you on about, dude? Are you not paying attention at all? Really? So okay, create a social hotspot, huh? More soy?
There's
Is that what we want,
there's
Rich Johnson?
there's so much technical back end to this idea that it's not a cost effective idea at all.
No, I mean, look, this guy's an idiot. Someone needs to punch him in the nose or slap him in the nose. How about that? Slap him in the nose, so YouTube won't get as mad at me. But your comic store can become an oasis for comics lovers. They already are. They have been for decades. What is wrong with you, dude? There's no reason that you can't explore additional streams of revenue. They already do this. Most of them have become board game places or places where you can buy magic. They've had to split themselves out to survive
Yeah,
like that already, dude.
that's my local stores. There's 4 locally that have survived called the Dragon's Keep, and they do mostly gaming. Like they have gaming night on every almost every night. And then you
Sure.
have like a subsection of comics, and they have a pretty good selection, especially in the main store. I think they should put in a strip joint, though. It would be probably bring in more revenue.
It probably would. You're right. But I mean, I'm just saying that these stores have been doing this stuff for a long time, trying to survive and make things. And you're right about the role playing nights and the board game nights, especially with the things from like Fantasy Flight, with their LCGs or some of their other CCG stuff they have, because they'll sit down, they'll buy their decks, they'll have a tournament. I mean, they do these things all the time. So I don't know what he is talking about. He says your comic store can become an oasis for comic lovers.
You know what? I like Slick's
What?
idea.
God.
You have your competition, and as you progress higher in the ranks, you upgrade to the stripper level.
Strip joint and a buffet on one side, and it just there's a natural melding there with comics and
Yeah.
gaming. I just think it would work.
And
I
Comic
can
Book Bob
see this
says,
now. You know,
yeah,
that's great. Yeah, there'll be so much attention.
yeah. Well,
That's
I mean,
beautiful.
Comic Book Bob makes a good point. Says so. Rich wants them to become internet cafes, right? Model 3 says, you have to sell a lot of Funko Pops to keep a store open, right? Let's see what other genius idea he has here. Having a strong digital presence. Okay, so none of these stores are on the internet at all. Good job, Rich Johnson. You're good. A comic store management software. Oh, they need to manage it because they don't know how to do it. Even though they're in the trenches day after day, year after year, they don't know how to manage this stuff. They need special software. This guy's a moron. This guy is a moron. Everything he's saying has no validity or has already been done. What is your point, Rich Johnson? This guy, God, this guy.
Well, I mean, and I think probably being serious, all right. There needs to be something to hold over. The vibrant areas of production right now are Japanese manga, Asian comics, and to some degree, European comics. I think that's where they're gonna have to start drawing stuff because American stuff isn't selling as well. You have to find places that are selling where there's a real a, a, a real passion for their medium.
Yeah.
And say what you will about weebs, but damn it, those people are passionate.
That's right. And that's an actual viable idea. If you're a comic book store and you're not carrying manga, why not? That is a viable idea. Another viable idea is to drop the big three. Drop them completely and just go pure indie, right? And until the big companies understand that you're not going to take their crap anymore and all this stuff that you're forcing down their throats. It just drop them. Drop them 100% and just go
You know,
pure indie.
all this is moot. I mean, we have Alterna.
Yeah, but that's indie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pure indie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, whatever. Another brilliant article from Rich Johnson, the absolute shill from Bleeding Cool. Thanks, Dinale.
You're
Next.
welcome.
Now this is interesting news, actually.
Yeah, this is from the Gamer, but Bandai Namco is trying to buy the entire Gundam franchise by buying a majority of the common stock from the parent company of Sunrise.
Yeah, Sotsu Company Limited. Now
Mhm.
this is really interesting. Bandai does all kind of stuff. Maybe more than you realize. What they do in Japan, they really cover a lot of different genres over here in Japan. Of not just comic books and videos and anime, but models and video games and tons of stuff. Actually, they got their fingers in a lot. But for me, of course, getting Gundam, I understand it's a big, huge franchise. But I would ask the question: how many of you in the West know Gundam, though?
Well,
Because
it's not about knowing Gundam. I mean, this is a unique situation. It's the licensee trying to buy out the licensor. I mean, think about that.
No, I won't. But he's also talking about Code Geass here because that's with that company, Space Runaway Ideon, which I don't even know what that is. But the one that catches my eye is Cowboy Bebop because that is epic. Yeah, because I grew up in the era of the giant fighting mech stuff. I mean, I loved all the Force 5 and, of course, Grandizer and all that kind of stuff, Guy King. But they didn't really bring Gundam over. Now in modern time,
So,
maybe they have, but
well, for my time, they had Toonami, and they had both the original Gundam
Mhm.
until it was canceled because of 9/11, but they also brought in beforehand Gundam Wing, which kind of was part of the, I guess, new anime wave with Toonami, and became really popular. So for my generation, Gundam models and Gundam was very popular at
okay,
that time.
there you go.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's cool. Gundam is a very well done series. It's way more about the story than it is about the the boom boom Michael Bay stuff. It's interesting, and I think it's a good thing though because Model makes a really good point. Gundam is very protective over their IP. Yes, they are. I think too protective actually, and Bandai will whore that thing out like crazy, and that'll be a good thing because more and more people will get to see it and be part of it actually because Gundam is a great series. It really is. And of course, I wait to see what they do with Cowboy Bebop. Now we talked a little bit about some movie coming or TV show coming for Cowboy Bebop, right, Dinale?
Right, it's a live action on Netflix, and Harold, I can't remember the actual actor's name, but he plays Sulu in the JJ verse. Is playing Spike, and then
He
they have
doesn't
a
look like
couple of,
Spike at all.
yeah.
Spike's
Isn't
just
And
some kind
Spike
of like
supposed to
German
be?
guy.
Isn't Spike supposed to? Am I getting this wrong? Isn't Spike supposed to be like Jewish? Well, the guys are Jewish, right?
I don't
Isn't his
recall
last name
that.
like Spike Spiegel or something? That's a pretty Jewy last name.
Spiegel.
Mhm.
Yeah, well,
Huh.
he's from what I remember, he's mainly German. Right.
Yeah.
I think there might be a little mixed ancestry in there, but once again, Gundam, not Gundam, Cowboy Bebop is not about Japanese people or Chinese people. It's about humanities in space, and these guys are bounty hunters, and they're all mixed, and they're different races. It's not, but these idiots these days, oh, it's made in Japan, therefore it has to be Japanese or Asian.
They did the
Asian,
same with Ghost in the Shell and everything. Yeah.
right? Because she wasn't Asian either,
Yeah.
right?
Don't they ever actually watch the films?
No, of
I mean,
course not.
so
Not.
so many of them have like all kinds of different people. What? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no. Basically, what happens with these people is this: Re. That's about it. That's kind of the extent of their intellectual
Yeah.
diversity. But beyond that, I think it's a good thing personally because Bandai will really try to make something out of it. They'll try to make money because that's what Bandai does. They're all about the coin, right? And some of these other companies are really too idealistic to be honest with you. So I think you're going to get more of this stuff, and I feel it's a good thing. Dave says, Chester, have you seen that life-size Gundam in Japan? I have. I've also seen the life-size Potla bar, and that was really cool too. That thing actually stood up, lighted, and talked because the Gundam one just kind of stands there. Yeah, no, the
How
Japanese do
tall
that
is a
kind of stuff.
life-size Gundam?
It's
How tall is that?
life-size. It's 3 stories tall.
Holy crap!
Yeah. Well,
Have to
not
put,
three,
have to
maybe
put
two
that on my
stories, I guess. I know it's about
to
3
put that on
stories.
my
Yeah.
have to put that on my bucket list.
Yeah, there's several of them around Japan actually, not just Gundam. There's many, well, they had a character long ago. I don't know if you guys know it, but there was one called Iron Man, and is like one of the first mecha characters, and he's kind of this blue, kind of very round shaped type of thing. But I've seen the giant life-size version of him too. There's a lot of life-size mecha characters in Japan actually. I think it's an obsession. Yeah, and Pet Bar was absolutely awesome, Bob. I agree. You know the interesting thing about Pet Bar, but you guys might not understand. I'm pronouncing it with the English pronunciation, of course, but in Japan it's a Patoroba, and of course what that means is
Patroba.
no, it means
Toroba.
it means
Patroba.
it means patrol car, as in a police patrol car, is
Oh.
what it means actually.
So Adam
That
12.
sucks.
That's great.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But I don't know. Anybody else have an opinion on this? Do
Patroba.
you think this is a good idea or a bad thing? I mean,
I mean, really, how much more are they going to exploit the property? They're already doing like incredible. I mean, have you seen? Has anyone here seen the number of Gundam model kits that come with it, and the challenges that come with it.
Oh, this whole store is dedicated to it, George. Whole
They
stores.
should just anglicize it to goddamn. Just saying.
Cool.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Chester's like, yeah, whatever.
Awesome. All right. Well,
Yeah,
we'll see what happens with it, but I think it's a good thing. Moving on here. Let's see. All right. Go ahead, Dinale.
All right, this is from We Got This Covered. Right now, there's been talks about an Alien TV anthology series being in development at Hulu. This is coming up again because of the whole Fox being purchased by Disney, and this is some of the things that's being affected because Fox was developing this before Disney kind of bought them out.
Right.
So right now, it's being in works and development, but we don't know exactly what the state of that development is and if they're going to proceed forward.
So it would just be like a Walking Dead kind of thing. That the Earth is invaded by the aliens? Or are we talking like they're just trapped on a space station and blah blah blah? Or are they trying to eradicate it on a world?
I hypothesize that they're gonna rape the Dark Horse alien.
I think so
works,
too, George. Yeah.
And then just go nuts on it. That's all. I mean, Dark Horse did. I think Dark Horse did the most incredible work on the Alien franchise ever.
It would be smart if they did that, George. Just because that right there looks at the overall government aspect, the corporate aspect. I think that would be the smart move. Yeah. But the interesting thing in this arc also you have to keep in mind the Prometheus and Alien Covenant series, what they've been doing, which has not been received very well. They're sidelining. That I think is the most interesting part of the article. But I think it's cool. I would love to see an anthology show on Alien because, some might not be good, but some could be absolutely spectacular. This would be fun.
Yeah. That's if they continue moving forward. So right now it's still in development and it's not guaranteed that it will actually meet to airing. But it's interesting. We'll keep an eye on it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Does Fox own Predator too?
Yes.
Yes, they do.
So they can futz with that as well.
They can.
Yeah.
They can. Yeah, absolutely.
But speaking of that, because we did talk about it before, is that the original copywriters of Predator and Aliens are soon to be reverting back, and that's something that we kind of discussed about before in a couple of shows back. So that's also probably why all these franchises are coming back in some level of development to try to hold on to them or do something before they lose it.
It is, yeah. But I think it would be cool. I mean, as long as they don't have that idiot that tried to reboot Twilight Zone, because boy, did he botch that. I mean, I couldn't even believe you could screw that up that badly, but he did. So as long as he's not part of it, I think it'll be fun. And if it's an anthology, it also means it's probably going to have multiple directors. So I think it'd be cool. I'm looking forward to it. And Model, you should apologize for what you just said, dude. How dare you? How dare you indeed? Lena Dunham will be playing Ed in Cowboy Bebop? Sir, that is unacceptable.
Lena Dunham playing anything is unacceptable.
Because Ed's a cool character. I think this is great, and I hope, keep my fingers crossed. I hope at least some of it will be good because I love Alien, and George is 100% correct. They should absolutely dig that mine that is the Dark Horse Alien series. That was really good. Yeah.
All right. But they won't be that smart.
You never know. You never know. Depending who's in charge
of
it.
Truth. I mean, in this day and age, in the zeitgeist. Come on.
Yeah. All right. Now, here we come to a new trailer from Mr. What's his real name now?
Robert Downey
Jr.
Jr.
Yeah. Playing Doolittle. Now, I like the Doolittle story. I remember the original TV, the movie that came out. It was great. We had Eddie Murphy do a version, which was okay. I think it could be cool. The problem is I'm kind of worried if I really want to touch this trailer because we did the Jungle Cruise thing and we stopped a lot during it. And we still got a copyright strike. They shut it down. which is still the
Yeah.
stupidest thing in the world, guys. Why in the world would you stop people from running your ads? It's
Let's
weird.
not play the trailer. Let's just tell people there's a trailer. We'll
Yeah.
talk about it, and then
Check it out. It's
Yeah,
a period.
go-
It's more of a period piece this time around.
Yeah, I think
So-
it'd be cool though. I mean, I love the Doctor Doolittle concept. Did you guys see that old? I kind of want to say Disney. At least it felt like Disney, but it was a long time ago, like in the '60s or '70s. There was a Doctor Doolittle. It was really well done. It was a musical, I think.
Is that the
No?
one with David Niven?
Why are they whitewashing Dr. Doolittle?
Who's the original Doctor Doolittle? Doctor Doolittle. Who's
I liked it as a kid though.
Yeah, it's in the same vein as like I read the flying car. What the one that
Chitty
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 Bang
Bang
Bang.
Bang. Yeah. It's in that kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. We love you.
We
Yeah,
love
yeah.
you.
No, it was Fox that did that.
Was it?
Did you guys ever notice that the toy maker in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is Benny Hill?
oh yeah,
No, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't notice that. I love Benny Hill. Of course, he's
Mhm.
absolutely anathema in today's culture, I would assume.
Oh, yeah.
A fat guy that
They-
loves
they-
loves sex and loves ladies. Oh no, can't have that.
I'm not allowed to do that.
No.
Which is kind of, it's kind of.
gay comedians.
Yeah,
Oh,
Rex
what,
Harrison played
George?
the original Doctor Doolittle.
Who was it? Say it again.
Rex Harrison.
Rex Harrison. Yeah, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
So I think this would be cool. Love to see Robert Downey Jr. doing something different than Iron Man. So definitely go check the trailer art yourself, guys. I haven't even seen it myself, so I don't even know what it looks like. But I'm not going to do it because these idiots, they just keep banning, copyrighting our show
defeated us.
just because we show a trailer. It's ridiculous.
They've broken us, our spirits.
Well, no, why bother? Because if I go and I try to fight it, well then I get shut down for 30 days while they investigate. It's the same thing with the lawyers simply outspending you.
That's
YouTube. It's
ridiculous.
disgusting behavior. That's what they do.
Can we get Booster to do hand puppets of the trailer?
I could. Yeah.
If he had a camera, maybe. Now this is Todd. Todd, go ahead.
Or Dr. Doom just made a radical coercion. That's no. Yeah.
Is that you telling me that Todd's not here? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That was my Todd impression.
All right. Well, this one here, Dr. Doom just made a radical career change. Now, this is first of all, this is Polygon. So why the hell is Polygon on my channel?
Todd.
First of all,
This
no
is-
Polygon.
This is why Dinale does the news.
Unbelievable. And it's a stupid thing too, because basically he's decided he's no longer going to be the king, the emperor of Latveria. He's going to go and try to see how he's been a horrible meanie his whole life and try to make amends. So first of all,
Yeah.
you completely misunderstand the aspect of Doctor Doom, because one of the things he does consistently is fight for the people of Latveria. He's actually a very good leader for Latveria and their people. He's very protective of them. For one.
Oh, my
Two, he's a bad guy. He doesn't need to be a good guy. Stop this nonsense. Stop it.
You know what's terrific about Doctor Doom, in the world of Doctor Doom, is that the next writer can fix it by just saying that the last story was a Doombot broken.
True. That is true. That is true. That is. But I mean, it's just dumb. Don't do this. And then once again, another number one. How many damn number ones are we up to? We should put together a list. How many number ones there are for the various big hero characters in Marvel? Because it's getting insane. It's just insane. Another number. We
It's a
just
game
had
I don't
Doctor
wanna
Doom
play.
number one not too long ago.
I don't want to play that game at all. It'll depress me.
It would, right? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And this is just dumb. It's a complete lack of understanding of what Doctor Doom is. Completely.
So who is running Latveria? Riri Williams? Who is it?
Probably.
Who's taking care of
I'm
it?
sure it'll
That would
be
be
Riri.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would probably be Ruby.
Yeah. And it's
See,
funny
which
when
is kind of it's yeah, you said it, Chester. It's kind of funny that Ruby Williams, instead of a hero, she does better as a villain.
Well, she does, and when she came in and attacked Latveria, they did it very seriously. But it was for me. At first I thought it was they were making it was like a sarcastic or making a joke, because Doctor Doom is completely innocent in the situation and being attacked by a so-called hero. But that's not. They weren't making the joke. They were being very serious. But this is just dumb. And once again, no frickin' polygon. God. Damn, don't you do realize they're the enemy of all things that live, right? You understand that, right? What the hell?
Yes, and Kotaku, two of the
Yeah,
four
no.
horsemen of the internet.
That's right. We don't touch those.
Mm,
Bleeding cool is bad enough. But this is Bleeding
mm.
Fool, which is an opposition to that idiot Rich Johnson. But this is cool news, though. Go ahead, Dinale.
All right, so from Bleeding Fool, Burt Ward, the original Robin, has been spotted filming on the CW lot in Vancouver, I believe, and he's filming his part for I'm pretty sure it's going to be a cameo appearance for the Infinite Crisis or the Crisis on Infinite Earth crossover that's starting in December.
Holy
I think-
camoli, Batman!
Yeah, I think it's a travesty they haven't brought in Dean Cain for at least an appearance as one of the Infinite Crisis Superman. But
that's not
you know,
gonna happen.
but that's not going to happen because
He's a Christian.
he actually has common sense and he's a nice guy. And
It's because they hate Asians. That's what it is.
It is. It's because they hate Asians.
He's a Christian, is what it is about him. He's an open Christian. But cool. We
I
love
would
to
have thought
see
it was
Burt Ward again.
Republican, but yeah.
Well, and he's a Republican too. Yeah, that as well.
Mhm.
But I'm looking forward to seeing Burt Ward. Of course, I don't watch the show, so I won't be seeing it. I guess someone will have to tell me when it happens, and I'll go check it out. Because personally, Supergirl, The Flash, maybe I should just say CW in general, really sucks balls. I mean, hardcore balls.
Supergirl sucks the worst though. I'm sorry. It's just
Really? Legends of
it's
Tomorrow is better than that?
okay. Yeah. Okay. But I still think Supergirl's worse than all the other ones. It's like just in my head, it's like a feminist train wreck.
Yeah, well, a lot of it is that these days. It's too bad too, man.
Now we have
Supergirl could have been
Batwoman.
cool, man.
Okay. Yeah. Batwoman I haven't looked at and I probably won't, so I don't care. But I mean, where's
the first
Batman?
episode isn't
What
that
happened to
offensive so far,
Batman?
but
Have you seen that article that says they don't like even the writers of what Batwoman have no real reason,
he just
real way
kind of
to
bailed. Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of bailed. Like Batman just took a powder. He's gonna go and hang out in Metropolis for a while and playboy it up.
Well, it's like Steve Rogers, like, yeah, I don't have to be a hero. I'm just going to go get married and live my life peacefully and let all the carnage that's happening around me for decades and do nothing about it. Yeah, same kind of crap.
Yeah, that sounds like Steve Rogers. Yeah,
sounds exactly like him. Yeah, but we don't want to diss on Burt Ward because we love Burt Ward.
That's what
He's
I'm doing
absolutely
right
awesome.
now. I find that very relatable.
Do you? Oh, all right, last story of the day.
Holy shitty writing, Batman.
Right. Eric Hawkins says he thinks Dean K has been on Supergirl. Oh, cool. Dinale, go ahead. Our last story for today, man.
All right, so this is from IG, and Venom director says Sony is leading towards crossover with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, which is probably one of the reasons why Sony came back to the table and kind of agreed to continue on with the partnership with Disney. But other news arising is that there's talk about rumors, we'll say it like this, rumor that there's going to be a team up with Spider-Man and Captain Marvel against the Sinister Six.
Sinister Six.
The Sinister Six?
Yes, the Sinister Six.
Denali, what is your country of origin? Not trying to be rude or anything.
Venezuela.
Okay, cool. Right on.
Mm-hmm.
Are you in the United States right now?
Yes.
Thank God.
Thank God. Yeah, absolutely. But first of all, we've covered this story many times. We've said this all along. So I don't know why I'm looking at this story again. To be honest with you, this is the.
Well, then let's skip it.
Okay, I'm skipping it.
We'll do a quick rush of it. Venom was poo. Venom 2 will probably be okay at the helms of Andy Serkis. Who knows? But they'll probably screw it up as well. Who cares who Spider-Man belongs to? Everything Sony does is just a very cynical attempt at keeping the properties that they own. And that's the only reason they keep rebooting things.
With no hand puppets. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Is that a good summary of it?
Good enough. Thank you very much. But yeah, whatever. Of course, we know they're going to do that. But well, okay, that's enough.
Play the Spider-Man PS4 game. That's the best. That is the best Peter Parker you're going to get in a very long time.
Yeah, no,
Which one?
people are saying a lot of good things about that.
The PS4 Spider-Man game.
The new one.
I'm not a gamer, but I'll take your word for it.
You know, it's being get a lot of praise, actually. People are really loving it. But I do need to, before we get out of here, thank you guys for coming in and hanging out with us and going over some news. Some of it interesting, some of it not, but that's always the way it is. But before we do that, we usually, for Bugbear's Basement tomorrow, we're usually doing our role-playing thing. But yeah, I really don't want to do any kind of side mission type of thing because that messes with continuity because one of our players can't be here tomorrow. So
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, I'm kind of wondering if you know what I'll do because we haven't had a break on Bugbears in quite a while. So what I will do is tomorrow we will simply not have a show. We'll do that. And next week we'll come back with Bugbear's Basement and continue the campaign. So Dinale, could you do me a favor and put an announcement on the FanSpeak, please, regarding tomorrow's show is canceled because we don't have a full party or however you want to word it. So we'll do like that, and then we'll come back next week for Bugbear's Basement and continue the story because it's really heating up. I'm really happy with the way this role-playing game is going in the Moonshay Isles. These guys are sitting on top of some very interesting choices, and that always makes for great role-playing. But other than that, I will let Dinale tell us what is going on the rest of the week and take us out of here.
All right. Well, we have comics news today at 8 p.m. Eastern Wednesday. Right now, I believe Drawn and Quarter Pro Edition is still on ice for the time being until people cools off.
Yeah.
But I've been hearing rumbling that Mike will return that in a future time. I'm not sure when, but it's on ice for the time being.
Yeah,
But
who cares?
yeah, moving on, we have the Thursday with Comics News Today at 8 p.m. Followed by the Drawn and Quarter here at this channel.
Ultimate Edition.
The Ultimate Edition.
Ultimate Edition.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
And then Friday we're time, but I believe Gary Shipman at Gary Shipman channel, he's doing the Friday night auction. So if you want to check that out,
nice.
He's taking over that for the time being until Mike gets up, and then we're back on FanSpeak this Saturday at 8 p.m. and we ended with Sunday at 8 p.m. with TFT.
TFT this week, by the way, guys. We're going to be doing. Well, I guess we're just going to. Maybe I'm just going to call it corruption. So we're going to talk about government and business corruption and conspiracy theories around it. It should be interesting. But corruption this week on TFT.
All right, then.
Right. Dinale?
Yeah. Wow. Check out our books, Lightspeed, with that's still on demand, correct?
Little Girl Lethal.
Little Girl Lethal, Sugar Lightspeed. Yes, it is in demand on Indiegogo currently. If you want to go check it out, do so. But be forewarned, it is for adults.
Yes.
So I'm not allowed it.
Yeah. And of course, George is working on fulfillment on his book, which is awesome. So,
Yes,
all right, Dinale. Namaste us, please.
Absolutely. Well, as always, your perception shapes your reality, so always make it a good one.
Namaste.
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 Namaste, baby.
All right. Later, guys.
Yeah.
Aloha.